Welcome to episode 2 of Chattin Politics with Josh. We're at Donut Studios again, and we're talking NDIS with Tennielle.
What is your experience with the NDIS?
My experience with the NDIS when I first started actually was quite bad because we ended up in lockdown and I had a provider that was using my funding to do things that he shouldn't have used it for. He was basically ripping off my psychologist $5,000 and still to this day hasn't been paid. I ended up breaking down. I ended up leaving the company and I got with another company, and he was bullying me when I was homeless for like 3 years. He ended up, because I had nowhere to live, he ended up putting me in shared accommodation and was charging whatever he felt like, up to $5,000 to $16,000 per night. And I actually didn't realise at the time because I was having suicidal thoughts because of him, the way he was bullying me. He was constantly messaging me saying that he can't be F with me when I was homeless. I had no one helping me. I had to find my own place. I didn't know where to turn to. I had a support coordinator with the same company charge me $6,000 in one go, got rejected, and she made me go off my head all the time, and it wasn't good for my mental health. It actually got worse. And then I ended up reporting it last year, and it still hasn't been heard because apparently we've got to respect their privacy, which I think is quite sad because we've got to know what's happened with our complaint, but they said they don't tell us because of their providers' privacy. But we should know when they've ripped us off, and we should know an outcome of it. But we don't. But he kept coming into, because he owned the houses, kept coming in saying that he was going to get me $200,000 in my plan, and that if I kept ringing NDIS, he was going to, he was saying that I was going to basically ruin it, that I won't get that much, and I didn't realise it was a red flag at the time. And I sent all invoices to the NDIS but still haven't heard anything, and I ended up finding my own house in Bendigo about 12 months ago, and now I got new plan management that are not dodgy and I got good people now, but we still need to be heard from, I wanted to get my voice out there that it's not right for the way we get treated. It was quite sad, but now I'm in a better place. But my psychologist got me to where I am today, so that's good. Yeah, that's about it.
Do you think it's too easy to rip people off?
Yeah, I think it is too easy for to be ripped off, because I was ripped off like $60,000, and I don't understand how these providers can charge so much money for short-term accommodation. And at the time I didn't even have support workers, so he was charging me STA prices, which is full-time care. And he basically, the NDIS kept on paying it, so I don't understand how they didn't check it to see, this isn't right, these prices are too high. And I find that they need to be more onto it, because they just can't keep charging that amount. That really affected my mental health. I was homeless, and I had a support coordinator tell me to go home and get abused, and wasn't even helping me find a place, and had dodgy plan management. They didn't even have a service booking with me, and they were still getting paid. So I don't understand how they get away with it. It needs to stop, really. Yep.
Do you think the NDIS gives you enough free time or not?
I feel like sometimes you get a bit overwhelmed with all the social interaction. It took me a long time to actually come out and socialise. And I was coming to Donut Studios 3 days a week, but I just got a bit too much and just said to my support coordinator I just need a day off. And then they put me on a Friday for a cooking class just to mix it up a bit. But I find that we shouldn't be forced into doing things we don't want to do. It is choice and control, and that's what it should be about. But I think socialising a bit too much can overstimulate your brain, and you just need time to yourself every now and then. And I find, I'm getting that now, but in the past I wasn't. To the point that a provider was forcing me 5 days a week, but then I ended up speaking up and saying enough is enough. I need time to myself at least once or twice a day, because otherwise your brain just gets overstimulated, you get depressed, you get emotional. We shouldn't be forced into doing things we don't want to do, and we should be allowed to speak up and have a control. And I find that I reckon it should be more about the traveling and all that kind of stuff, just to us to have some kind of normal life and break it up a bit every now and then. That's what I think.
Are you happy with the NDIS, or do you think the name needs to be changed?
I think the name needs to be changed because we shouldn't be seen with people with disabilities. We should be seen for people that, need a bit of help in life. That's not about our disabilities. We should be seen for who we are, and I think the word disability shouldn't be really in it, really, because then people out in public, and if they have name tags on it says NDIS, you're gonna feel like you're out with how do I put it, with a friend instead of a support worker kind of thing.
What do you like to do in your free time? Does the NDIS help you with that?
Sometimes. I was having day programs Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, but I spoke up and said it was just getting overwhelming 3 days a week. And then in my free time I like to go out with a support worker, go to the park, have time to think to myself and watch movies and have time to refresh and basically just have time to yourself every now and then so you're not overstimulated.
What changes would you like to see in the future with the NDIS?
I'd like to see the NDIS being more onto the fraud with some providers out there that are just ripping us all off, and instead of seeing us for the money, just see us for the people we are. We're not meant to be used for money, We're not their bank accounts, really. We're not the provider's bank account. We shouldn't be ripped off, and it shouldn't be happening. So we should basically see more change in it. Go over invoices more. Go over, have it all legit instead of these providers thinking they can put it in their pocket. It's just not right.
Do you think the NDIS has changed your life for the better or worse?
When I first started NDIS in 2020 in Melbourne, I was, when we went into lockdown, I didn't experience much, but I had a provider that was basically ripping me off, and he was not paying my invoices, using my funding to, things that he shouldn't have been using it for, and at the start, it was making me really, really bad. I had a bad experience. And then I moved to Bendigo to get better support. And I've had a bit of rough experiences, but now it's getting better. It's not so bad as what it was in Melbourne. I think Melbourne wasn't right for me for support, so it was just ripping me off, seeing me for a bank account, and I told him I'm not your bank account. And I think it should be more they need to be more switched on about it instead of these people doing this to us. It's not right. We're trying to have a normal life, not a bad one.
If anything were possible, what would you like the NDIS to be?
More better, more, we can have more time to ourselves. Like, I know we've got to use the funding, but we should be allowed to have at least 1 or 2 days to ourselves instead of socialising. And sometimes it does get a bit too much. Like, I understand they want us to be independent and stuff like that, but we can't be independent if we're overstimulated and upset all the time. It needs to be a bit better.
What are your dreams for the future?
To be able to travel more, to be able to see a bit more places, see a bit more of Australia, and to meet new friends. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for the future.
Thank you.